Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. I'm your host, Jason Marshall. I'm finally back from Pennsylvania. We'll get into that a little later, but first, my guests today are members of the Canadian improv troupe Focus Up. It's Tracy, Rowland, and Dwayne Mailman. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Finally back home, and it feels good.
Yeah, you made it out of Pennsylvania. They let you out?
Yeah, and I tell you what, it was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I really didn't want to go, but once I got there, it was a good time. What have you guys been up to since I talked to you last?
Still doing our weekly show.
Oh, yeah, and we've actually added another show on.
That's right.
Since the last time we spoke.
Awesome.
It's called Improv Night in Canada. It's a long-form improv show that is that's themed after the NHL.
Nice. What day is that?
It's also on a Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just we do it on the second Monday of the month instead of the usual show that we do.
Okay.
But we're looking to expand it and do it like once a month in a couple of different locations so that we can reach out to other people who maybe aren't aware of where we are.
And just for people who aren't aware of where you are, you want to give them some information?
Sure. We're based in Toronto, and right now we're performing at a place that has no name. It's the place with no name.
The bar that shall not be named.
Yeah. And it's 468 Spadina Avenue at College. And if you happen to be down there and you can't find it, it's just south of the Rexall.
And it has no name.
It has no name right now.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, the people that come to the class have been calling, what have they been calling it, Dwayne?
The sudden drop.
The sudden drop, because the back of the stage is a sudden drop into like, it could be dangerous if you didn't know it was there. But
it's a pit. It's
a little bit of a pit.
For an orchestra?
No. Maybe for chairs, let's say. It's an interesting space.
That could be your next improv. Everybody just pick an instrument. It's the orchestra pit now.
That's true, yeah. Okay. Do we have to credit you if we do that now?
I would love that, yeah. You don't have to, but that would be awesome.
I was thinking of trying the Improv 300, where the loser of the round actually gets booted into the pit.
I love that.
I don't think I'd want to lose, though. I don't want to sit on that sticky floor. All bars have that sticky floor, right?
Yeah, I used to. Well, I was going to say I used to work at a bar, but I kind of did. I kind of didn't. I just worked for free drinks. So I don't know if that counts.
So you worked, and I know your listeners can't see me doing the air quotes.
Yeah, exactly. I showed up, I drank way too much, and in order to get free drinks, I would clean tables and take out trash.
I thought you were going to say you took out people that drank too much.
No, it was interesting. That's the time in my life I knew I had a drinking problem. If the person who owns the bar, if their mom does your laundry and she calls you to make sure you get up for work the next day, you might have a problem and you might be that bar's cash cow.
Yeah, possibly.
I heard you guys have a fog advisory in Toronto. Is everything okay up there?
Yeah, you saw that, right? They're calling right now. It looks like it's mostly dissipated. I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the mist advisory because then that means like giant alien creatures that Stephen King thought of are coming to kill us, right?
Well, you got to take it seriously. I lost my mom to fog in 2011. She just disappeared into it like the people on Lost. It was kind of frightening.
Okay, Dwayne and I both stopped and we're like, oh my God, I hope that his mom really didn't die in a car accident in fog. Honestly, we both had that terrified, crap, we have stepped in it this time look on our faces.
It just took a dark turn.
Yeah, like, oh my God. I'm really sorry. Fog is the worst. Down with fog. Yeah. And anything to do with it, rain, all of those precipitation-like occurrences.
I forgot to tell you guys, we changed the format of the show. This is basically just therapy now.
Oh, good. I have something to get off my chest. No, just kidding.
Dwayne, do you got something that you would like to share with the group?
I think I'm going to pass on this one, actually. I'm a very private person.
Whoa! You're an improviser. There's no privacy.
Is murder still funny? Like, can we talk about that?
Sure. Time.
Your own?
Yes.
Time plus tragedy equals comedy, right?
It's true. I don't I don't know how long ago was this murder that you speak of.
It's not so much in the past as about to happen.
Oh.
Call the police. Call the police.
Well,
It's the same number in Canada. 911.
something I like to do on the show is to get a question from my previous guest for my next guest without the previous guest knowing who my next guest will be.
Ooh.
So if
That sounds pretty cool.
Thank
like
you.
That.
If people out there are curious who my last guest was, download last week's episode.
Oh, I
It's
see.
a cliffhanger.
Brilliant.
Brilliant marketing.
The question is, who are the 25 people who have affected your life the most? I figured we'd better get this one out of the way. I understand if you don't answer.
Wow. I don't even think I know 25 people.
I know 25 people. I just don't know their names.
Well, then you don't know them.
I know them.
I might
Trust me.
quit asking this guest for questions because the last time they wanted me to ask the guest 17 things that made them happy, and that took forever.
Wow.
25. Okay, 25 between Dwayne and I.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I'd have to start by saying probably my mother and my father, because if they hadn't have gotten together, I wouldn't be here.
So that's 2.
So that kind of affects my life.
Okay, so then I'll say my mom and my dad, and my stepmom and my stepfather. So that's another 4. So
Double
that's
down.
we're at 6 now.
And I think that's kind of where it ends. I think I need to expand my circle.
I mean, if I'm just going to look at it from improv standpoint, I would say Dwayne for me. I met him doing like live theater type stuff, like Renaissance Festival things. And he's the one who kind of encouraged me to go do more of the Second City style improv. I have been an addict ever since. So screw you, Dwayne.
And for myself, I think I would I'd have to now take Tracy off that list. Yeah, she's off that list.
You're the worst. You're the worst. So what are we at now? Like that's 7
7.
minus 1. So we're at 6 because you took me off the list.
Well, it would have been 8, but I took you off the list.
Oh, okay, so we're
it's
still
7.
at 7.
I'm still on the list.
Okay. Gosh, this is such a hard question. Like, I'm not one of those, I wish I was a musician because it's easier to answer that then, because then you probably have like that, person who inspired you to be a musician.
Well, I think for me, watching people like Ken Hall or Adam Colley and Rob Norman do their improv and their comedy really affected me and had me stay in the industry long after I thought I would quit. I think watching them and being taught by them really opened it back up for me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
and actually, Ken Hall, you've probably seen him recently. He's on the new show, People of Earth, the Warren Sinak show.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays the alien whose name is escaping me.
What do you guys think of Paul F. Tompkins?
By name, I don't know him, but I'm sure I know who he is.
Okay, he does a lot of stand-up and improv in L.A. He's really funny. One of the best improvs I've seen.
You know what? Do you have a second? I can look up his face and see if I know who he is.
Yeah.
You know what? His name sounds like he should be from Kids in the Hall.
Did you ever watch the Mr. Show with Bob and David?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he
Like,
was on there.
He was on that?
Yeah, he was on there with Scott Aukerman, Sarah Silverman, that whole group.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I see the picture now. Very funny guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not as familiar with his work, but, Bob Odenkirk and David Cross and stuff like that, like those guys, hilarious stuff. And I watch what they're doing, and I'm constantly wondering how much of this I'm like the traditional improv audience. I'm like, how much of this is planned and how much are they improvising on the spot?
Yep.
Do you notice what just happened?
What?
He just asked his 2 Canadian guests if they knew that one guy from LA.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
That was a great segue, huh? I got us out of that question, though.
Yeah, it's true. Because we get like 8.
Yeah, that was going to take pretty much the length of the show.
Yeah. Actually, we got 10 because Dwayne named 3. So, and I'll say Lady Gaga and
Just throwing names out there.
Beyonce and Buddha. I don't know.
When I asked my last guest, the person who asked this question to you, when they asked another guest the 17 things that made them happy, I messed up and forgot to ask them the question until we were about to end the show, and then I realized, and he just went down the list, and the 17th thing that made him happy was, and I quote, ending this fucking show.
You know, I could list 17 things that make me happy very easily, but 25 people that have influenced me, that's hard. Like I would have liked the opportunity to kind of go make some notes and, you know, and look through my Facebook wall.
Yeah, because the Canadian improv person over here needs to flesh out the idea.
Well, I could make shit up. I could be like, the guy who sells cookies at the treat stand in the mall.
Hey, we're up to 12 now.
Yeah. The lady who works at the Hallmark shop.
Wait, are we still counting Buddha?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 15.
Okay, so the lady who works at the Hallmark shop.
16.
The guy who invented white bread, because good Lord, that has affected me, not necessarily in a good way.
All right, 17.
Mr. Lay's, who developed potato chips.
Oh, yeah, 18, and Mr. Nestle.
Okay, 19.
19.
Dr. Pepper.
20, Doctor Who.
Which one?
Well, how many? There's like, what, 12
No,
of those?
Yeah, okay, so we're well
finishes
about
the
25
list.
now. We're good.
Nailed it.
There you go.
Not so fun fact, that person almost asked, who are the 50 people who have affected your life the most? Thankfully, they cut it in half.
But if you count that Dwayne and I both said that, that's 50.
I like that. There you go.
Math!
I have to ask while I have Canadians on the phone,
Uh-oh.
what is the
what
deal
could
with
be.
Zed?
With what?
Zed?
Oh, Zed.
Yeah.
Oh, I so thought you were going to ask about something else. Thank God.
Well, it's how the word, it's how the letter is pronounced.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's Zed versus Z. I think it's a British thing.
I always wondered that. I don't know if we're in the minority or what, because I know they say it in Canada. I know they say it over in the UK. You know. So
Well, I would be interested. It might be interesting to find out if they pronounce it Zed in New Zealand.
ooh.
I think most British colonies call it Zed. And I'll be honest, I just Googled. Apparently, it's because it came from the Greek word zeta, which sounds more like Zed than Z. It's not Zeta, like Velveeta, but Zeta, like see you later.
I have somebody coming on the show from New Zealand at the end of the month. I will make sure and ask them that question.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
great question.
Greek letters. Boom.
Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know. That's Google. So you got to, fake news. You got to be careful.
it could be an alternate fact.
Exactly, right? Z is an alternate fact.
Yeah, I get all my information from Siri, so yeah, I'm good.
I got to be
That's a
honest, though,
great
in
resource.
certain situations, Z sounds better. Like, what is that zombie movie? What is it? World War Z?
Yeah.
World War Z sounds boring and dull. World War Z sounds like, yes!
World War Z sounds like a stoner movie.
One in which I would see happily.
Oh, no.
If it were a stoner movie, I would see it instead of the zombie.
I gotta go with my zombies.
I can see the movie poster already. A little, desk for the teacher to sit at, an ashtray, and the world's biggest joint.
And the joint's name is Zed?
No, and the smoke makes up the letter Z.
Ooh,
Oh.
I like that.
Wow. No, I gotta stick with my zombies. I'm a zombie killer. I have to tell you. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, come to me. Bring guns and ammo, because I don't have any. Don't tell anybody where I live, though. Because I went to Vegas and went to the gun store.
Uh-huh.
The one gun store.
No, it's called the gun
Oh.
store. It's the name of the place. And you pay money and you get to shoot all these really awesome guns at targets. And I picked the zombie targets. And I was like 100% accurate and precise all the time.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
And I've never shot a gun before or since.
Do you think in the future they'll have like a zombie equivalent to that, where like zombies can pay money and come in and munch down on human targets?
They're just use CPR dummies.
Maybe, but like, what do? You hang like a person on one of those things, and instead of like shooting it down the long hallway, it comes at them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
That's
could just
boring,
put
huh?
mannequins on a treadmill.
oh, there you go. It'd be like a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah, and it would have to be mannequins because you're not actually shooting real zombies at these things. It's paper.
Well, because I knew I was having Canadians on the show, This week, I tried poutine for the first time.
No way.
Yeah.
And?
I like it.
Is that why you were in Pittsburgh?
Exactly. They don't have it in Ohio. I had to go
Were
to
you in
Pittsburgh to
Pittsburgh?
get it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for people out there who don't know, it's fries, cheese curds, and gravy, or it can just be cheese, right?
No, those are cheese fries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it has to be gravy and the cheese.
Yeah.
Now you will find though that a lot of restaurants will do that, and they trick you with the poutine label, and you get there and it's gravy and like shredded cheese on it, and you should throw that in their face and send it back.
Well, it's good to know I didn't
Don't
get ripped
actually
off.
do that to a waitress, please.
So I had the real deal, huh?
Yeah. So you liked it?
Has to be curds.
Yeah, I was surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect. It was brown gravy, and I don't know why. I just had in my mind that it was going to be this gray stuff. And it didn't,
Ew.
yeah, I know it didn't seem appetizing, but I had to try it.
Pete.
But I got to say, with the brown gravy, it was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, because I could imagine, like, were you thinking something like chicken gravy or whatever, like the steak, country fried steak gravy or whatever that stuff is?
Exactly, and that did not sound good at all.
No,
that does not sound appetizing.
That doesn't sound appetizing. I gotta be honest, as a Canadian, that never sounds appetizing on anything. I've never understood chicken fried steak. It's steak. Why are you trying to make it more chicken-like? Whenever I'm having chicken, what I'm thinking is, gee, I wish this was a steak.
That is true. Why would you downgrade it?
Yeah, it'd be like, I would like to have a Toyota Lexus, please. Does that analogy?
I don't think
work?
that analogy works the way you think it does.
I would like to have a bicycle Lexus.
Still no.
Flounder fate.
A flounder what?
I had to pick something very hard for me to say. Flounder flavored crab legs.
There you go.
Oh.
Also
Nobody wants that.
death, but I'm allergic, so.
One thing that I'm still waiting to try, and I don't want to try this, but it's from the UK, and it's toast with beans.
Oh, that is so good.
Why do you not want to try that?
Slap a fried egg under that?
It just, I don't know. I've said that I was going to try it for a while. I have somebody coming on from the UK in about a month or so I'm going to try to do it before then.
How strong are your arteries?
Not too good.
Because you really do need strong arteries for any food that comes out of the UK.
Okay.
Because it's like 83% butter.
Oh, I've had food that is, they say that it's from the UK as far as the type. They didn't import it in or anything. But I've always heard it's kind of bland, but you made it sound delicious.
Well, it is bland, though. Like mushy peas and stuff
Hence
like that.
the butter.
It's pretty bland.
They put butter in everything.
But I gotta say, I'm confused. To me, toast and beans is like, it's a staple. You can go get beans at almost any like breakfast chain with your breakfast.
Really?
Is that really not a thing in the States?
No.
My God, I don't know you people at all. No ketchup chips.
I do
no
like
toast
ketchup
beans.
chips. Yeah, I've never heard of beans and toast till I was talking to somebody from the UK. And I think I kind of caught him off guard because it sounded kind of disgusting to me.
Hey, if you're willing to try poutine, I would highly recommend you try beans on toast.
Well, do you like beans?
I can take it or leave it. So
And toast?
I love toast.
Well, you like 50% of the dish.
Yeah.
That is shocking to me. It was just like the first time I found out that Americans don't have ketchup chips.
I have had ketchup chips. They are delicious. I love those things. But I gotta admit, when I saw them, I was kind of weirded out by them because it's not something that we have normally over here, and it didn't sound good. But
when I found that out, that you guys didn't have that, I started wondering if the FDA knew something that we didn't.
I just thought it was weird, given how much ketchup Americans use on everything else, that you weren't like, ketchup chips? Yes, please.
That is true.
Just like, you guys have cornered the market on ketchup, I believe.
And cheese.
But yeah, no, they're my favorite.
And cheese. Don't forget cheese.
And cheese. Oh my God. I got to tell you, I traveled to Texas for work once, and I was like so tired of deep fried stuff. And I'm like, I'll just have a salad. And I got my salad and it was covered in cheese. And I'm like, this is not a salad now. It's like pasta with leaves.
I think that's the only way we can eat salads in America. You have to drown it in cheese, croutons, and dressing.
Yeah.
As long as
Salad is food that food eats.
as long as we can't taste the vegetables, it's good.
Well, I like veggies.
All
I
right.
like all food. Who am I kidding? I like all food. All food is good, except for liver. Liver is gross.
I started to notice a little trend when I was talking to you guys that I'm bringing people on just so I can eat food from their area.
Well, you are called We Don't Have Cookies, so maybe that's a trend you already had.
There you go.
You know, you got to have like food from every different area now.
I have a scenario from my friends over at the This or That podcast. What they do is a this or that scenario each week, and they do a roundtable discussion about them. Every Monday, you can get their podcast. Comes out on iTunes, a lot of other places. Our scenario for this week is poop in a group or bathroom blindness.
So now we have to discuss the merits of either or what we would prefer.
What you would prefer.
I believe bathroom blindness, but I am not the kind of person, like I know lots of people who will not poop in a public bathroom, and I'm like, I don't care.
Well, like for me, poop in a group makes it somebody else's problem.
What?
Like if it's like poop in a group, if I would just walk into a group of people and, do my business, it's not my problem anymore. I can leave the group.
You just don't want to clean up after yourself.
Yeah, it's there. Like it's just.
Then just go to the.
Well, is this group in a bathroom or just like out in a field somewhere?
I believe it's in a bathroom. I think we can kind of make our own ground rules as we go. I just get weirded. For whatever reason, I have a visual of people just sitting in a circle squatting.
Yeah, and I guess my question is, do you squat facing in or squat facing out? 'Cause facing in, that's even worse. Because facing out, at least you're not making eye contact with somebody else while you are taking a dump.
Yeah, and you have to step over it when you leave. That's
Yeah.
I will say this, though. People in general can become very competitive. And if you do a poop in a group scenario and one person is, has a little bit of
Better
sound,
at it? Oh,
a little sound with their leavings,
okay.
You're going to start to see a lot of people really trying to outdo that sound.
But that brings me to another point, though. If you were pooping in, and this comes back to the inwards facing or outwards facing question, I'm kind of stuck on this one. If somebody has, for example, not enough bran in their diet, you might want to see that coming towards you. So if you're facing out, you wouldn't know that there's like a poop-a-lanche coming at you.
I can see your point there because you don't.
I think you might feel it as it splatters.
Well, that's
on
the point. You don't want to feel it. You want to get out of the way.
Yeah,
Oh my God. The people who came up with this idea.
I think I'd have to go with bathroom blindness because you could at least try to feel your way through, and you kind of have an idea how bathrooms are laid out. So
Oh my God! Wait.
However,
yeah.
if we go back to the scenario where somebody had a little bit less bran in their diet, do you really want to be feeling around through the spray?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I've
that's
been to a
true.
bathroom in Mexico. I didn't want to touch anything in that bathroom. It was in a gas station at a gas station bathroom, and it was disgusting. So I think if you go with like bathroom blindness, oh my gosh.
Well, Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong, but in a female bathroom, there's a lot of hovering, we'll call it, where people don't like to actually touch the seat. If you have bathroom blindness, you'd have to find that seat.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, hovering isn't exactly the most accurate way.
No, it's really not. And I'm not a hoverer, so I'd have to like clean off the seat blindly. See, when you said bathroom blindness, I thought, I didn't take it literally. I thought you just meant you can't see the other people. Now I see why these two are being played off of each other. Sorry, I'm having a blonde moment. I'm still going to go with bathroom blindness, though, because I can always wash my hands, but I cannot wash my brain.
And you could always just pick really high-end places to go to the bathroom. Just make sure
What is a high-end place to go to the bathroom?
Well, you just go to a jewelry store or somewhere that's kind of employees only, and you just tell them that your little kid has to go, and you just go in there and you tell the little kid stand by the door, something like that. You just go and do your business.
You've done this before.
It
There definitely does have that hint of history.
Yeah, it feels like this is really well thought out little heist you've got there.
And well, I'll be honest, I don't know about in the States, but here in Canada, we're not actually as polite as people think.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into a place like a jewelry store and you're like, I really got to go, they don't care. They're like, well, the street's out there. Have at it.
Poop in a group.
Yeah. Seating for 7. Follow me.
The one bad thing about bathroom blindness, this is going to sound bad up front, but I had a little incident in the hotel room in Pittsburgh. It sounds so bad starting off that way, but the toilet seat in my hotel room was very top heavy. So if I put it up, it would just want to fall down. So I would have to hold the toilet seat with one hand and aim with the other, and it was very uncomfortable. And I think bathroom blindness would not be a good scenario for that particular hotel room.
Especially if you had to pick it up a second time.
Oddly enough, it was this weird slow-moving falling. Where it just moved maybe an inch a second. So
no, that's made like that on purpose. I have one of those.
Oh, really?
It's so that you never drop the toilet seat again.
Okay. Well,
yeah. So,
but I feel like if you're actually sitting down to do a number 2, it would kind of be resting on your back.
Well, I mean, mine, if you push it up like 90 degrees, it stays up. But if you get it anywhere closer to level, then it actually just falls very slowly and gently down until it kisses the bottom of the toilet seat and stays there.
Learned something new today.
You're welcome from Home Depot.
Is this indeed the conversation you thought you would have today?
No.
He brought up the poop in a group or bathroom blindness, so I think he was expecting a shitty conversation.
That was very punny.
See, somebody thinks I'm funny.
I learned a lot about myself in that trip to Pittsburgh, and the main thing that I learned is I do not like staying in hotels. I don't think...
I gotta be honest, whenever I travel, I'm often nervous in hotels, not because I'm nervous like the hotel's gonna burn down or anything. I'm always worried that I'm gonna get bed bugs and bring them home.
To be honest, that never occurred to me. It probably will from now on. But
oh no, I'm sorry.
I'm always worried. This last time, I was swimming in the pool. I saw a van with a lady and a guy gets out, and they have 6 kids. And I thought, yep, they're probably going to be next to me. That was my whole thought. I just got out of the pool and went upstairs and just waited to find out.
So I guess this brings us full circle back to that poop in a group thing. I mean, you were in a public pool.
Yeah, I tell you, it was not the best. My first time in the pool, I stepped on a piece of gum, and yeah, I thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to enjoy this now.
Yeah, because then you're like, how clean is this pool generally?
Yeah, it kind of turned the whole thing on its head. Last time I went to a hotel, it was at Myrtle Beach, and it was really nice. The water was warm. It was just a perfect scenario, and I chose the same hotel to stay in, but in Pittsburgh, and it was a whole different experience.
Yeah.
And I got a haunted hotel room, and that didn't
What?
help.
Oh, I got to hear about this.
Yeah. As soon as we get there, I have my wife and my little girl with me, so we also brought our cat. We walk into the hotel room. Soon as we get in, the cat hid for days. And we've taken the cat to other vacations with us, and it's been perfectly fine. But this time it's hiding under tables and hiding under the bed, just will not come out. And one night around 2 a.m., laying in bed, sound asleep, and a plate breaks just really hard on the kitchen floor. And if you went into the kitchen, you could see a spot on the floor where it actually chipped the tile that it hit so hard. Had no idea what was going on. Me and my wife get up. We're picking up the glass. Finally, we end up going back to bed. And I couldn't see my way back to the bed because it was so dark in the room. Once I got in my bed, about maybe a minute later, the TV starts glowing. And my wife starts getting annoyed because she thought I was just going to start watching TV at 2:30. But I get up to go turn the TV off because the remote was in the living room area. I went to get the remote, I hit off, and it actually turned the TV on because there's no set-top box for the cable or satellite, whatever they had. It's just a catch-all button you hit on and everything turns on. So how it was glowing with nothing there was kind of odd. But the really strange thing was the next day, my cat was totally fine in the room, never had a problem, and everything was fine ever since. I can't explain it.
Does your cat have a history of messing with you?
No, but we did adopt it from the people who were on Ghost Hunters.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No. No.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty creepy. That would creep me out.
Yeah, when we got there and the cat hid, I thought, well, that's weird, but he's going to get over it. And 3 days in, I thought, well, something isn't right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought too much about it if we hadn't taken him other places and he was fine. I would just think, well, he's out of his environment or whatnot. But it was the TV thing really threw me, though.
Yeah, well, especially right after the plate. Like if it had been something that kept happening, then you'd be like, well, the TV has a short or something. But happens once right after the plate goes flying off wherever it was. That's weird.
And I'm sure our neighbors loved that too. Just hearing glass smash at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But it was very odd that there was actually a chip in the tile where it hit. So, it hit hard. And it was in the middle of the kitchen too. It wasn't like underneath where the dishes were or anything like that. It was off a little ways out. So I had no idea what to think about that. But I told my wife, if something like this happens again tomorrow, we're getting another room. And she replied, no, we're going to another hotel.
Yeah, right. Oh
I'm just picturing your cat like sitting perched on the ceiling fan blade with a stack full of dishes.
Knocking stuff on the floor to freak you out. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. That's a creepy story.
I couldn't figure out a way where the cat would actually get to where the dishes were to do that. And when we had the cleaning people come in the next day and we were talking to her about it, and she was like, I don't see how this could happen. Which we replied, did something ever happen in this room? I thought about actually interviewing the hotel manager, just saying, hey, this weird thing happened. I want to know what's going on.
You should have called the cat's previous owners.
Yeah, get them to come in with their gear. Yeah, I doubt that if something had happened, I bet the hotel manager would be like, "Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. No ghosts here. Nope, nothing to see."
Nothing ever happened, and if you Google it, I would advise against that because you're wasting time.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't Google it, I'll give you $50 off.
There you go. You know something's up when they cut the internet to your room after that conversation.
I'm like, sorry, we're now North Korea. No more internet. Wow, that is, now you got me all creeped out.
Yeah, and I had to sleep there the rest of the night. That was...
Yeah.
Do you want to send me the information of this hotel? I'm feeling like a road trip.
Okay.
You don't look like a road trip. Haha. But
this is what I deal with here in Canada, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm here all week. Try the poutine.
It is delicious.
No.
It's delicious. The poutine is delicious.
The last segment I want to get into is something I call Sweet or Psychotic. What we do is I get a news story and we try to figure out if these people are nuts or if it's a very, very sweet thing to do.
All right.
It was a couple who did a pregnancy announcement with 452 IVF needles where they were trying to get pregnant through means with a doctor. And in the little heart with the needles was a little onesie with the announcement that they're having a baby. And it's kind of sweet because you put a lot of time into making this announcement. But it's kind of nuts to have 452 needles around. So I'm not exactly sure which way to go with that.
So I have a question for clarity, and I don't know if you know this, but was that their actual needles?
I don't know.
Like they saved them?
I know that they tried 452 times before she got pregnant with the needles, but I'm not sure. And I would like to know that too, because that's what I was thinking was, do they just keep every needle they use? I don't know if that's permitted or not. That's a good question. I'd love to know that.
I feel like we're looking too closely at this. I mean, it's crazy. And that's just the bottom line.
No, well, no.
It's absolutely crazy.
No, I wouldn't say. I would say if it's the needles.
That would be the same as me doing a birth announcement with a onesie in a circle of all the broken condoms that I've ever had.
Well, no, because condoms, you're not trying to have a baby. It's the opposite of that.
The ripped packaging, then whatever.
No, it's the opposite of that. Is what I'm saying. Like IVF.
Not if it's a miracle baby.
Yeah, I like
right?
that.
Like it broke through these condoms, right? We weren't expecting it. Look at how we protected ourselves, and still.
Okay, that's horrible. Don't ever do that to a kid, because then when they grow up, they'll get to see the picture that proves that mommy and daddy didn't want them. That is the worst birth announcement ever.
Well, in this case, you have a picture that's going to circulate, and the kid's going to grow up thinking that it was a junkie.
No, mommy's a junkie. No, I think it's actually sweet if they're not the actual needles. It's psychotic if it's the actual needles, because you're keeping like human tissue on those needles for however long. Because I don't know how often you get those injections. I don't know, like how many 400 times, like how long would you have to be getting IVF injections to have 400 some odd needles and to keep them all? That's a little psychotic. Like that's a little crazy. I would think that, I'm not saying that it's crazy to keep trying to have a baby that long. I'm just saying that feels psychotic to keep the needles. But if they're just like, hey, let's get these needles as props, brand new, clean, sterile needles.
But still, that's a lot of needles to have to go out and get. Like you're buying 400 and plus needles.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
No.
At what point do you just have to say, okay, maybe this is an expensive picture?
And how do you explain that other than you're having a heroin party?
Right?
I don't know. Yeah, you can write off medical stuff on your taxes, but I don't know that you could write off 470 needles.
They have to be the original needles. They have to be, because there's no way for them to purchase that many needles and still be, like, they're not going to deliver them to your house.
Yeah. Okay, I got to ask. Were they like, what did they do with the needles? Was it like just a pile of needles with a baby thing in a onesie in the middle?
It looks like, let me check real quick because I don't want to misrepresent the story. I was thinking that they were in the shape of a heart, but it may just be a circle. I would also like to know if they are their needles, if they numbered each one of them individually, just so they know. Like, this was number 450.
Yeah, I mean, if they've kept that many, I would assume they would have a story to go with each one.
Yeah, if they've kept them, it feels a little Dexter-y.
Yeah, it does. You just got a needle drawer.
Yeah.
That eventually turned into a needle cabinet.
Yeah, where do you keep that? Don't go in the spare bedroom. That's where
where we keep our needles.
Jim and Brenda are keeping their needles. We're hoping one day we're gonna be able to take a picture of them all for everybody. But
think of the planning that went into that, because like you said, they had to keep them every single time. Like, this was planned. I think that shows intent of crazy.
It was just a circle, and they had two onesies in there that represented their twins. The way it seems is they were actually their needles.
Ooh.
And just a circle, though. I mean, that to me, that's just, you're that's just lazy then, because you should do a heart. I think your idea that it was a heart is much better. I'm going to go with lazy rather than psychotic or sweet. Lazy is my answer. Screw the rules. What, Dwayne? Are you I'm going psychotic?
Bat crap crazy.
Yeah. I gotta say it seems very psychotic.
But at the same time, it's also extremely sweet. Like, just because you're psychotic doesn't mean you're not also sweet. Clearly, these people are really excited about having babies, so good on them for that.
I don't know if they should have babies if they're just keeping needles in their house.
Well, hopefully they get rid of the needles now. Now it'll be like, all right.
That's a good question. What did they title this picture? Did they title it like Baby's Playroom?
No, it was just a Facebook post to let all their friends and family know, which I don't know if that's something you want to get out there. But.
Yeah. Well, to go back to Dwayne's idea before, though, about the condoms, as opposed to the condoms, it would be like if you were just trying to have a baby, au natural, then it would be like empty bottles of lube or something.
Oh, God. Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to go past this now.
I just wonder if we're ever.
But however, for next Thanksgiving, I have a new idea for an invitation card to a Thanksgiving dinner. It's just going to be a turkey surrounded by 400 turkey basters.
Oh, okay.
I thought it'd just be all the old turkey legs that you've kept over the years.
Rotting turkey legs around it. Ugh.
Yeah, suddenly it looks like a turkey graveyard. I'd be like, I think I'll pass on dinner, thanks.
I wonder if we're ever going to see these people on the TV show Hoarders.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like they might have some pretty deep-seated issues.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and, like, part of me is like, I wonder who decided to keep the needles.
Yeah.
The one who got stabbed with them? Or the one who was just like, yeah, go, honey, from the sideline?
That would be an interesting, like, you ever think of being like a fly on the wall during that conversation? Like, that's where I want to be. To see that conversation unfold, because one of them had to come up with that idea first.
Wait. I gotta ask. It's needles or it's like the thing that implants it into the woman?
No, these are actual needles.
Weird. I don't even know what the needles... I'm pretty clueless when it comes to this, and I don't even know what the needles would be for. Because, like, it's IVF, so put things in a test tube, and then I don't even know what the needles are for. My question would be like, congratulations on the babies. What the hell's with the needles?
I wish instead of just posting a picture to Facebook, they actually made a YouTube video where they were creating.
Oh, no. You don't want a YouTube video of that. Oh, God.
Yeah, everybody should do that from now on. You've got your YouTube videos of, like, wedding announcements and, like, people proposing. And then you've got the YouTube videos of people conceiving their children.
Tracy, they have something like that. It's called porno.
Yeah, it's a porn channel. Oh, Lord.
I would love to see them setting this up. I'd really like to know what kind of music they were listening to while they just made this circle of needles.
Highway to Hell.
9-inch nails.
Oh.
No?
I like it.
No? Edward Scissorhands. That's not a song.
They were listening to Ace of Base. All she wants is another baby.
Oh!
Oh!
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Well, the last time I had you guys on the show, I said that I wanted to do an international improv show, and that didn't happen, which I'm sure shocked everyone. We had a little thing on the show. It was called The Curse of the Show, where anything I said on the show just seemed like it would never happen. If I tried to announce guests ahead of time, they would cancel. It was a whole thing. I had a priest come in and bless the show. So actually,
So it's now kosher.
Yeah. I made a whole episode about it.
He said yes.
I'll be a rabbi.
It's on him now.
Oh, I think I got ripped off.
No, kosher's the best, so you gotta go with kosher. So are you still thinking of doing it at some point?
I hope so, around June or so, somewhere in there. So I wanted to let everybody know that I haven't given up on the idea. I really like the idea, but just hasn't happened yet, and I want to make sure that I introduce all the people who will be on that show to the audience before we have the show. So it kind of means a little more to the people listening.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you guys would like to plug before we go?
Just if anybody's in the Toronto area, we do have a drop-in improv class every Monday before the show. And it's only $6 for your first time, $5, and it's only like Canadian money. So what's that, like 25 cents American? Yeah, and it's 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and it's a lot of fun, and it's for any level of improviser.
Sounds good. And where can people find you guys on social media if you want to be found? You may not want them to find you.
Don't ever find me. No. We have our Facebook page. It's WINProv.
Win as in like winning, Charlie Sheen style. So WIN. Prov as in improv, PROV.
All one word.
Yeah.
Or they can look up Improv Night in Canada on Facebook as well. We have a page for them separately as well.
All right, sounds good. I want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure you check out the Facebook page, visit the website, and I'll have a link to all those things in the show notes. Keep spreading the word, and I'll be back Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
poutine is delicious.